What if a house wasn't just a place to live, but a composition of light? What if a wall could be woven, not stacked, its very pattern letting the sun in? And what if, on the eve of the Great Depression, a single home on the prairie quietly bridged two of American architecture's boldest chapters, the mythic past and a democratic future? This is Westhope Frank Lloyd Wright's 1929 house for his cousin, the publisher Richard Lloyd Jones, a poised, luminous hinge between Wright's Mayan revival experiments and the coming Usonian revolution. Tulsa in the late 1920s is a city in fast-forward oil fortunes, new highways, the hum of printing presses. It is neither Chicago's monumentality nor Los Angeles's cinematic glamour. It is the frontier of business and belief. And in this prairie outpost, Wright is offered a canvas at once personal and public, a home for a newspaper man who makes and breaks the day's narrative. Richard Lloyd Jones is not merely a client. He is kin and kindred in appetite for ideas, controversy, and clarity. He asked Wright for a modern house, not a mannered one. The site is level, the sky is vast. To understand Westhope, we have to feel the turbulence in Wright's life. The prairie years are behind him, the long, serene horizontals that married hearth to horizon. In California, he has just staged his audacious textile block dramas. Hollyhock House, Millard House, Storer House, Freeman House, Ennis House, carved masonry that channels a romantic, pre-Columbian gravitas. Critics call it Mayan revival. Wright thinks of it as a structural tapestry, blocks cast with pattern, stacked into ornamented monoliths. Those houses are heavy, ritual, earthbound. Then a pivot. The 1920s end with a nation on the brink. Wright needs lightness literally and spiritually. He carries forward the logic of the block, but exchanges mass for luminosity. Westhope will be his proof. A wall that is still a weave, but now the weft is glass. Jones's home must host gatherings, cajole conversations, and frame columns of text yet unwritten. Wright replies with a composition that reads like a newspaper page. Columns, ribbons, white space, bold leads. The material palette is sober and forward-looking, at once poured concrete blocks, glass block, steel, wood, a harmony of the ordinary transformed by pattern and proportion. The house is sited with reserve, not an object postcard, a presence. Approached obliquely, its facades alternate between opacity and glow. It is a lantern that refuses spectacle. It wants to be inhabited, not merely admired. In Los Angeles, Wright's textile blocks acted like carved stone, deep, shadowed, iconographic. At Westhope, he transposes the score. The pattern becomes light. Concrete block is scored with fine linear grooves, an austere cousin of the Mayan motif. Between vertical stacks of block, continuous bands of glass block appear, translucent rather than transparent, turning sunlight into ambient architecture. This is the genius of Westhope. The wall is not a barrier, but a filter. Not a picture window, but a veil. By day, the house flickers with softened daylight that falls in stripes and squares across floors and plaster. By night, interior lamps reverse the composition. The house becomes a softly glowing instrument, a prairie light box. And yet, this is no dematerialized modernist box. The grid holds. The pattern is quiet but legible. You sense in your body the measure of the house, the room as a bar of music, the corridor as a line of verse. Wright composes Westhope as a spatial stanza, long measured lines punctuated by rests and emphases. The entry underplays drama, then releases it, a compressed threshold opening into a double-height living hall. A balcony traverses this volume like a lightly drawn staff line motion without weight. Corner glazing breaks the tyranny of the box, letting the eye slide diagonally into the landscape. Built-in seating, hearths, and cabinetry register the grid. Furniture aligns with structure, refusing clutter. Movement is not symmetrical but metrical. Rooms don't mirror, they answer one another. The house breathes porous, cross-ventilated, orchestrated to the path of sun and the bias of the Oklahoma wind. Guests remark that Westhope makes them quiet, not hushed by grandeur, but steadied by order. The grid is not a cage, it is a tempo. You cook to it, read to it, quarrel and reconcile to it. Pattern becomes a kind of ethics: clarity, measure, restraint. Let's name the inheritance. In the Mayan houses, Wright discovered architecture as text, walls carrying narrative relief. At Westhope, he keeps that literacy but changes the alphabet, from mass to membrane, from shadow carved to light pressed, from mythic monument to domestic instrument. This is why scholars call Westhope transitional, or better, translational. It translates a heroic language of pattern into a livable grammar of light. The 1930s will bring the Usonian houses, economical, low-slung, concrete slab floors with radiant heat, carports, modular grids, built-ins tuned to middle-class budgets architecture as right-sized citizenship. Westhope is not Usonian. It is larger, more ceremonial, tailored to a singular patron, and yet the DNA is already active. The didactic grid-teaching economy of parts and precision of fit. Built-in furniture space made efficient by integration, honest materials concrete, glass, wood, and plain speech. Indoor-outdoor continuity not by giant glass walls, but by light continuity. If the Usonian house is a sentence in clear American English, Westhope is the last poetic stanza written before Wright switches prose registers. You can hear the next cadence forming. Westhope completes in the year of the crash. The stock market buckles, commissions evaporate, and era deflates. Against this, Westhope is a counter gesture, not the exuberance of spending, but the discipline of pattern. Geometry becomes a moral act, order amid turmoil. And here is the paradox. The house is both delicate and durable. Delicate in its calibrated light, durable in its stoic blocks. It becomes a metaphor for endurance, how to face uncertainty without ornamented denial. Inside, Wright allows the warmth of wood to answer the mineral cool. Fireplaces mark the grid with hearthly punctuation. The house is precise, yes, but never sterile. It is tuned, like an instrument that wants to be played. Westhope's great room is not grand for grandeur's sake. Its height is proportioned to the width of view, the length of table, the span of conversation. Private rooms introvert just enough to honor solitude. Circulation stitches them back into the social core. From outside, Westhope is opaque enough to protect. From inside, it is translucent enough to release. Privacy and publicity do not duel, they braid. Richard Lloyd Jones edits a city's conscience. Westhope becomes his editorial page in 3 dimensions. Columns of glass and concrete structure belief that light clarifies, that pattern disciplines, that modernity can be moral. Guests absorb the thesis without hearing a word. Architecture argues quietly, persistently. Scholars will later call it an enigmatic chapter, a cathedral of pattern, an early American light machine. All are true. What matters is simpler. People like being in it. They feel held and clarified. This is a bridge you don't cross once. You live on it. Wright's century is a series of inflections. Prairie, home as horizontal democracy. Textile block, home as archetype and myth. Westhope, home as pattern, light, durable. Ordinary materials given spiritual consequence. Usonia, home as affordable agency. Without Westhope, the leap to Usonia would be too abrupt. Here he proves that system can be sensuous, that order can be tender, that a grid can be loved. If you listen long enough, you realize Westhope isn't just illuminated by light. It illuminates behavior, conversation, the ethics of proportion. It teaches without lecturing, shows without showing off. A house where light is the material and pattern is the conscience. But what if, just as Wright was teaching walls to breathe, another master stepped in from the same Los Angeles crucible and taught structure to disappear? What if the house became sinew and skin, stretched between hillside and horizon, a prescription for modern life? A year after Westhope, on a precipitous site in Los Angeles, Richard Neutra unveiled a manifesto in steel, glass, and health. The Lovell House, 1929. What happens when architecture becomes a physiological machine? Sunlight, air, exercise, and rest tuned like instruments. When a domestic space is engineered like a body, and the body becomes the client, follow us west where the cliff is real and the frame is the future. If this walk through Westhope illuminated something for you, subscribe to Space, Shape, and Scale. Tell us in the comments what you're seeing, questioning, or which overlooked projects belong in this timeline. Then click to the next episode. Lovell House, 1929. Richard Neutra. From lantern to exoskeleton, from gridded glow to tensile grace, from pattern to performance of the modern body. Because architecture never stops, and neither do we.